right, guys. So welcome. This is a very nice and exciting podcast session today. I'm very, very excited to learn about the world of what is peptides, and not only a peptide discussion, but we want to know about this new and exciting venture, VitalMix Pharmacy. We have our founder here, Mark Mordokhaev, correct?
Yes.
And joining us is also peptide expert / FNP, Tammy Abramov.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you guys for being here. We have a lot of questions today. All right. This is kind of a collection of questions that I've seen and picked up on because a lot of people are very interested in this. What are peptides? Are they harmful? Are they FDA approved? I heard they're not FDA approved. I heard they're getting sold under the black market. So there's a lot of questions, hoping that both of you guys, as your experts in this region, will be able to help us today. Okay?
Yes.
Before we even dive into this crazy world, please share a little bit with what is VitalMix RX and how is it different really from like a typical pharmacy?
So we are classified as what's called a 503A compounding pharmacy, which basically means that technically we are a pharmacy. You could bring a prescription off the street. We could fill it for you. We don't deal with insurances. Everything's out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also a full compounding facility. We have clean rooms according to USP 795, 797, and USP 800. That basically means non-sterile compounding, sterile compounding, both hazardous and non-hazardous. So everything we do is just like top notch, specifically dedicated for compounding services.
And what's the benefit for like a compounding pharmacy? What's the difference between that and your typical, big pharma? I mean, there's millions of, possibilities and scripts. And for the most part, it's my understanding, like I have an education and a background as a nurse, as many people know. But for the most part, I see that in my practice, at least, somebody would get a script and they have some side effects of that script. And then their doctor will go and they will give them another script to manage that side effect and symptom and so on and so forth. And this becomes like a continuing pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that compounding is more patient specific? Is that where it's beneficial?
It is. So think about it like if you or like your husband wants to buy a suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could buy a suit off the rack at JCPenney or Macy's, right? And it could fit well. He could just like tailor it a little bit here and there, or he could get a custom-made suit.
I see.
That's essentially what we do here. It's like a bespoke boutique type of situation. For example, a very common thing is tirzepatide, which is generic Mounjaro and Zepbound, right? It's used for weight loss. It's used for diabetes. It comes with specific dosages from like big pharma, from the manufacturers, like 2.5 milligrams, 5, and increments of 2.5. What if that dose doesn't work for you?
Mm-hmm.
What if 2.5 is too much? What if you want a microdose? That's where we come in. Because big pharma can't provide that dose, we do that dose for them specifically.
So break it down for me a little bit. Let's say I am somebody that has that dose and it's not working for me. And rather than me go back to my doctor, I would want to deal with somebody like you.
Right.
Do I still need to go back to my doctor?
You still need a prescription.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we do requires a patient-specific prescription.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that process look like? Like, how can you determine what would be correct for somebody? Like, this is probably somewhere that's your expertise. Like, do you actually go and do needed blood work? Is it a comprehensive panel?
So, you should always start with, patient history, physical exam, what the patient's goals are, what their diet is like. And honestly, in general, these tirzepatide, semaglutide, they are on a sliding scale. So you don't just start them high. They have, they get some serious side effects. So you start low and slow and you move slowly up the scale to what you can tolerate. Once you hit your goal, then you reassess and see, where you go from there.
So explain it to me like I'm like one of your patients, but I've never heard of anything about peptides. Like, what are they and how do they really differ from the traditional pharmaceutical medications? And you can both touch on this.
Okay, so peptides are small chains of amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins.
Mm-hmm.
So they act like messengers. They go to specific receptors. They tell that receptor to make something, to stop something, to do something. It's basically like text messaging within your body. Like it's going to a specific receptor. It's not going to attach itself to other pathways.
Wow, okay. And what would you say in your experience? Like, do you see people are they able to, I guess, drift away from their typical like day-to-day like medication regimen if they're more focused on optimizing their health and wellness through peptides? Like, do you see that?
It depends what it is. And I'll give you a real world example. We had a patient who was very much overweight, obese. He had a serious knee problem because of the weight. He was on NSAIDs, like basically like either an aspirin or a Motrin, ibuprofen. He's taking that almost every day.
Wow.
And eventually that increases your blood pressure. That and you being obese increases your blood pressure, heart issues, cholesterol. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, he's like, it's getting worse.
And he's like on these 5 meds at that point. So we put him on tirzepatide. He got a prescription for tirzepatide. And within 6 months, he's not taking any of those medications because he lost weight, less pressure on the knee.
Yeah.
He's not taking the NSAID. His cholesterol levels are more or less normal. He's not on the statin anymore. His blood pressure is normal. He's not taking his blood pressure medications, right?
That's great.
So not everybody's going to be like that.
Yeah.
But that's like a very good example of the potential of what inputting or incorporating a peptide into your daily regimen could do for you. And don't take my word for it. Like, speak with your healthcare provider. Hopefully they are educated in peptide therapies, GLP-1s.
Well, this is a great example, but I do see, and I am going to be a little bit like devil's advocate here. There is a lot of hype around these drugs, especially the GLP-1s. There's a lot of hype. Everyone's talking about it. Weight loss has always been a hot topic. I think ever since we were growing up, we're more or less in the same age bracket, but there's always the South Beach diet. We saw Atkins commercials. Like there's so many things that we've gone through. And as a millennial, I can honestly sit there and say that it just comes down to, oh my God, none of these work. It's a diet and exercise kind of thing. But I do see that with GLP-1s, they genuinely seem like they are at the tip, at the very least, like this is the most effective. I do see, however, like the negative too. There's people that I see, they're just taking too much of it, and then they're losing bone density. So I guess my question to both of you would be like, do you feel like this is just another fad trend? Do you think that this is a trend, or do you think that this is going to be the very next innovative big thing in medicine?
I mean, I don't think it's a trend, and I think that
because peptides have been around, they're not new, but this is like the first, and I'm a nurse, but this is the first time I really hear a lot of noise about it. It's really only come mainstream probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because a lot more celebrities are taking it now, and so they're talking about it more. But in terms of like the tirzepatide alone, I wouldn't recommend anybody just take tirzepatide and just that's it. You should work out. You should increase your protein intake because it does affect the muscle mass. So you should incorporate changes in your lifestyle in order to get the maximum result. Yes, you can lose weight. There's also a limit. You don't just take something endlessly.
Then where do you think like they'll impact most? Do you think that in the weight loss world, do you think it's going to be women's health? I know a big one is also hormone replacement therapy, right? Again, going back to being a millennial, for as long as I can remember, all I've ever seen are commercials about women and trying to keep them younger. They always talk about premenopause, menopause, and how this period of time for women, it's very, very difficult and it's taxing. Yeah. Now we have this whole new world where it's like you don't have to feel uncomfortable anymore when you are dealing with menopause. Now they have this thing called hormone replacement therapy, where they're actually synthetically, I guess, giving you. So talk to me about that. Is this a synthetic thing? Is this like literally a replacement, or is this something your body starts to kind of adjust to because it's not synthetic? It's your own hormones, and it's like easing the pressure. Like explain it to me as if like I don't have any medical background.
I mean, hormones are signaling agents as well. So when you're going through menopause, there is a lack of something. So those hormones that you're injecting or consuming, whatever method they're going in, are specifically helping you with whatever you're lacking. When you're in menopause, your estrogen levels, everything is whacked. It's all over the place. So it's helping to normalize it and equalize it so that you're feeling the best that you do. How many menopausal women are moms, for example, hot flashes, mood swings. Yeah. Like there's just so much going on, and now there's a way to help those people so that they're feeling their best even as they're aging, and they're feeling perhaps lowly of themselves and they don't want to be out there, and like it's great. It's really amazing stuff.
Modern medicine, and specifically where compounding pharmacy comes into the picture, is maybe 10, 20 years ago, a woman who's going through menopause, she'll be supplemented with some progesterone capsules, or like not over the counter, but just like cookie cutter estradiol dose or something like that. And if she goes to a legitimate good expert with who deals with hormone replacement therapy, they will prescribe our pharmacy a specific cocktail, estradiol mixed with estriol in like a 80-20 or 50-50 composition, and we mix it together in a capsule. We can also include progesterone if it's necessary, and very often you have menopausal, even perimenopausal women injecting testosterone.
Yeah.
Small doses of testosterone.
Yeah, because it also drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense for sure. It's great. I think it's it's fantastic.
Helps with muscle mass retention.
So that's that's another thing I wanted to pick up on.
Yeah.
So we speak about women.
Yeah.
What about like if you're healthy, you're genuinely healthy,
Right.
but let's say I'm going to give you a scenario. Like I'm 30, I'm in my late 30s, genuinely healthy. No, thank God, no past medical history that's in any significance. I work out, but I have a really hard time with recovery. Like I feel very tired after. Very difficult for the muscles to recover after a certain point. Back when I was in my 20s, I could do it all, pull an all-nighter. Tammy, you know this well, because me and Tammy know each other from college. Yeah. And we speak about this now because we're both mothers, and times have changed. And we were genuinely just taking over the world when we were younger, and we weren't even sleeping. We were not even sleeping. We were working like genuinely difficult jobs, like catering, waiters, just the typical job that you work to go ahead and support your college, your undergrad. But, we grew up. We moved on from that. We are now married. We have children. And we still keep in touch, obviously. And I speak to her, and a lot of it sounds like complaining. I know she's looking at me because she's like, well, I've been telling you that you need to sleep more and do this more. But my point is, let's say I'm generally healthy, but I genuinely feel it. The life that I decided to live when I was in my 20s gave me a beating. Yeah. But I'm feeling that beating now, where it's I don't recover as quickly if I'm working out. I can't even get my bearings enough to really like take weight training seriously because it just feels too hard. And this is like something I'm personally speaking about myself. I'm using myself as an example.
Right.
Why is this so difficult in your late 30s, and how can this kind of help? Like, you're not sick, but I want to go and I want to optimize my health. So what's the process look like for me? Do I go to my primary care physician and be like,
most likely he won't know. That's
what I'm saying. Like, how will people figure out like what they need? Because like you said, this is a compounding thing. Yeah. So it's patient specific. Let's say I'm lacking vitamin B and all these other things. Like, what do I ask for when I go to somebody like Tammy and I say, Tammy, I'm tired. Me and you, we just partied way too hard when we were younger, But what do I do to make myself feel like I'm in my 20s again? I see it. I see people talking about it. I don't know if they're lying. I don't know. How do I get myself there? What does that look like for me?
So most likely you're going to have to start by finding a functional medicine doctor or somebody like Tammy who actually knows how to like take the proper blood work, order the right tests and stuff like that.
So it's not even a typical blood panel?
It's not. It's you want to know like all your hormones, you like even get your testosterone levels checked and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Even though you're a woman, like it'll help you.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like a little bit far-fetched, but even transdermal testosterone here and there for a woman is going to help.
Yeah.
Muscle recovery or even maintaining that muscle mass. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of different peptides and even IV injectables that you could do, like an amino acid blend, like a day after you work out.
Wow.
Like, I've heard phenomenal stories from it.
And I also hear it, and I'm just like, I don't understand how this works. Like, what do you mean? Like, because you hear it all the time, guys. Like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
You go to the gym. You go to the gym. You have a nice workout, and then you go either the same day or the most.
I literally want to take a nap after I work out. This is a problem.
So you go, you lay down. Tammy can do the IV for you. She has a nice chair.
I literally can do it for you.
She'll do they mix amino acid blend, which we could make for you. You mix it with NaCl?
Yeah. So it's
you replenish at that point.
Yeah.
So when you do these comprehensive blood panels, what I'm understanding is you're just figuring out what you need, and then you supplement just for the sake of, not just for the sake of supplementing, but only where you're deficient?
Yes.
Is that where I'm understanding?
Yeah.
And do you overdo it? Meaning, do you want extra vitamin B, in your system? Like, do you want to have like a higher dose? Do you want your iron and your ferritin to be like in more than optimal levels? Like,
Probably
what
not
is
the iron.
Yeah.
Not the iron, but the B12 a little bit it's not gonna do anything bad. Iron, you have to be careful because it could lead to blood clots and stuff like that over time.
So no, I would stay within, obviously you need to continuously be checking your blood work. I wouldn't just say one set of labs is enough and now we're just going to do all these things and hope for the best. No, come back in like 3 months for blood so we can see where you're at and then adjust as necessary.
Do you think peptides are going to play a role in longevity?
They already do.
Yeah.
They already do.
So they're going to like make the life expectancy, you think, better? Like, if this is going to be a continuous thing in modern medicine and it's going to be more and more innovative and more people are going to be using it, do you think that it's like to the point where people are going to be living longer?
Well, it's all right if I answer.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's back up with that question a little bit. Who are the people who are taking the peptides? Who are the people that are interested in the peptides? These are people who genuinely care for their health. They're proactive when it comes to their health.
Yeah.
They're not waiting to get a
because I feel like this is almost like the advanced metric for like health and wellness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. These are people who are getting enough sleep. Everything that they do is calculated. They're calculating their macros, their micronutrients, all that stuff. They're going to the gym at least 3 times a week. It's not like your typical Joe Schmo, who's laying down on the couch all day. He's very proactive and he's looking for ways to better his health. In general, these people tend to live longer as it is. They don't drink alcohol. They do everything.
They have the lifestyle in order. Like, they know what they need to do. It's just sometimes you're lacking something. You just need a little bit of a boost. Like, it's just hormones take over, stress. Yeah. There's so many different factors that could cause you to not be at your optimal level. There are people, though, there are people, though, now that, diabetics that are, their A1C is high and they're on tirzepatide or any sort of GLP-1. And once they're started that, they feel better. Now they're turning into the avenue where they want to do everything possible to continue feeling good. So when you feel good, you look good. And you do things to support that. So I don't know about like living longer, sure, but feeling better and living longer together is the way to go. It's not going to be like I'm living longer, but I can't do anything for myself. You want to be able to live longer, but have that independence as well.
So Tammy, this makes sense for you. This makes sense for you, Mark. I will be attacking you in a moment.
Okay.
This makes a lot of sense for you where you are in life. First of all, you are very pro-health conscious. You have made phenomenal leaps and bounds with your health. I take my hat off to you. We're opposites in that aspect. I'm going to get there one day.
I'm going to get you there.
I know. I'm going to do it.
You're sitting with the right people.
I really I don't even sleep. So just from what you said, you described the people that are interested in this stuff. I have to get my sleep schedule in order before I even start entertaining peptides. But I'm very fascinated with them and I am interested. This makes sense for you. You are in the space. You do aesthetics. So you're also about looking younger, not just feeling younger. And I like that your practice is trying to internalize being better, not just, we hear commercials like shinier looking hair. Like Pantene Pro V will convince you that you want to use their shampoo because your hair will look healthier. Healthier looking hair is my favorite tagline that they use because it's not healthy. It's like petroleum oil dumped on your head and it just gives the illusion that it's shining, but really it's just like oil on your head. Mm-hmm. But you as a pharmacist, this is interesting to me because we know, guys, those that are watching, Big Pharma does not want us to feel good and look good and take less medication. So this is why VitalMix is very, very interesting to me. Yeah. Because as a pharmacist, and whether you guys know this or not, Big Pharma, I don't think are a friend to the everyday consumer. They are a money-making,
for-profit organization.
For-profit organization, absolutely.
That's the biggest one.
At this point, just my experience as a nurse, we know about, it's almost like the term I want to use is like legal kickbacks almost, like cardiologists, surgeons, they will prescribe and push certain medications because they have contracts with, like, this is not a secret anymore. They have contracts with pharmaceutical companies, so on and so forth. The bureaucracy around that and all that stuff has always bothered me, which is why I've always done my own research kind of person. And when my parents, when they were ill and when I was by their side, I had a very hard time with the pharmacy aspect of things because I'm like, whatever the first 5 medications you give, there are so many side effects that I have to deal with.
Right.
So something like this, when you say compounding, wouldn't Big Pharma not like this? Wouldn't Big Pharma kind of be against people like peptides, for example? Is this not going to be disruptive to the Big Pharma industry, or is it almost like part of it?
It's a very packed question.
It is a very packed question. I told you I'm going to make things uncomfortable for you.
How much time do I have to answer?
You have time. This is a genuine question that I need answered for myself because there's too much information around and we don't know what to listen to.
Okay. It's a long-winded question and it's an even more long-winded response. Okay. Basically, a lot of the peptides that are today on the market, they either are synthetic peptides or they basically mimic our natural peptides, which our body naturally makes. For example, something called BPC 157.
Okay.
It's very good. It's used for like joint repair, muscle repair, and stuff like that. So if you inject something like BPC 157, maybe you might not need to have like joint repair surgery. Maybe you might not have to be on an NSAID or any other kind of medication out there. Big Pharma is not going to like that. Yes, they're not going to like that. But the thing is like this. BPC 157, for example, I'm very pro it. It's a good product. Our stomach actually produces this peptide. It's produced in our stomachs. Legally, a pharmaceutical company cannot patent something that our body naturally makes.
This is very interesting.
In order for a product, a medication, to be approved and put on the market, it has to go through the approval process. There has to be clinical trials, X, Y, and Z. That costs hundreds of millions of dollars. The way that it works is that one of these big pharma companies needs to sponsor that whole trial.
Not gonna do
Put money, hundreds of millions of dollars. They're not going to do that for something that they didn't patent. Something that they don't get a return on investment for.
I see. Okay.
So, for example, semaglutide, Ozempic, GLP. It's a GLP-1 receptor agonist. That's in our body. That's a natural thing, right? Our body has natural GLP-1 receptors. So what they did is they played around with the half-life. They changed some things around and they patented that. Understand?
Because I was just gonna say, like they are big pharma companies that.
Right.
Okay.
So there's
what are
like
some
a loophole.
popular ones? Mounjaro, like
Mounjaro,
Ozempic,
stuff like that. Right now
okay.
we have another one.
So that's how they patented. They change something, they tweak it, and then they'll say, oh, "Okay, this is now ours."
This is our product. You know what I'm saying?
And if Big Pharma is doing that, let me tell you, that looks like then it's maybe promising stuff because it seems like they're like, we can't miss out on this. We need to get in on this type of thing.
Right. So if, for example, BPC 157, if that starts taking off, which I think that it will, Big Pharma is not going to sleep on that.
Yeah.
They're going to find a way to incorporate it, to patent it, but it's going to take time. It's going to take at least 5 to 10 years. It's a very long and grueling process to get something approved.
Well, that is a very, very good answer. I'm glad that we still have, medical professionals that want better for their patients. I'm very cynical with our whole medical industry because of these kinds of situations. Just working in the hospital, maybe watching them almost kind of do trial and error. The practice is, like you make a plan for a patient, they start vomiting for whatever reason, they're not reacting to the medicine the way the doctor would like, or the numbers are just not showing him what he wants to see. Right. Okay, this didn't work. Let's try another one. Let's try another way. And it's almost like the patient's almost like a guinea pig. That's kind of standard practice in a hospital. Whereas people are really, really diving into, hey, I need to become healthier. What can I do? And then they go and they have an NP, for example, do a full-blown assessment and say, hey, listen, I'm deficient. She'll say, you're deficient in A, B, and C, and maybe this is going to make you live longer.
Right.
But that's promising that we have actual longevity proven with peptides.
Let me give you another real-world example.
Go ahead.
There was a lady, she had breast cancer. It was like, I think stage 3 or stage 4. It was pretty advanced. And she was like in her late 30s. And this was in Florida. And I used to work in another pharmacy there. It was also compounding pharmacy, and we used to make preservative-free ascorbic acid for her, high dose.
Okay.
And in addition to her chemotherapy, she was also taking this high dose vitamin C. It was like 500 milligrams per ml. And she was doing this once a week. And believe it or not, like within a month of doing it, her lab levels were like basically perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. And then later I realized, and later I came across like papers actually written on this, like studies that incorporating high dose of ascorbic acid, preservative-free is better, in conjunction to chemotherapy can actually increase the lifespan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I like it that this is very patient specific,
Yeah.
like a very tailored to like if a patient comes to you like me and says, I'm very low energy,
Yeah.
but I have A, B, and C concerns. So you can basically compound this
Yes.
for me. You can add vitamin B12
Yeah.
to my Ozempic. Like if I wanted to do, you can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are, for the most part, injectables.
Yes.
And what else can I add in there? Let's just go crazy. Like,
Amino acids.
how big can these cocktails get? Okay, amino acids, fine. What else?
I've never done any like.
What about my hair falls out? Well, can
Okay, so that's something else.
so I would need an additional peptide.
So for hair, I would start off with minoxidil. Minoxidil is basically generic Rogaine. It's very good. It's very effective.
But what happens if I stop taking minoxidil?
It's gonna go. Your
Back
hair's
to the
gonna
way it
look.
was?
It's gonna look like the way that it would have if you would have never started it. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
I do. That doesn't sound good.
You take it for the rest of your life.
What is my option if I don't want to take something like minoxidil?
I mean, I think that's the best thing that you could do.
What is minoxidil?
It just opens up your vessels
Oh, okay.
to give more blood
Just blood flows
flowing
to the follicles.
Yeah.
What about DHT? I hear things about DHT all the time and how like you need to inhibit the DHT to kind of let the follicle do its thing.
So that's already you're going into the hormonal pathways.
Yeah.
Like for a woman, I would not recommend that. I've only seen one woman and she was like legit half bald. It was very bad. Like she could take it. She was already like in her 50s, 60s. She could take it. But typically, like I would recommend just like 5% minoxidil for women. I would stay away from the DHT blockers like finasteride, dutasteride.
You see, that's why I ask, because you hear so many conflicting things, and it's so important to sit down and have a consultation about these things, because you can't trust a random reel. You can't trust, like there was a, and I wanted to bring this up. Sean Ryan used to be somebody that I would once in a while go ahead and touch on. Sadly, I found out recently that, it's to the highest bidder. When you pay money, you start talking about a subject in a very almost kind of like negative way because you're being paid to
do it.
And there was a woman that came on there and she was just blasting peptides. And it was new for me to see that because all I saw was genuinely positive stuff about peptides to begin with. And I read up on it and I'm like, oh, our bodies naturally make this. This is actually really interesting. But she came on there like, no, we actually found A, B, and C study that this and this and this can cause cancer. And I'm like, you can't sit there. Basically, why did I bring this up is because you cannot genuinely take anyone's word for anything. You absolutely have to speak to a physician. And the reason why I speak this is because, do you know how many people are selling peptides, guys, like under the table?
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
That is so dangerous. I mean, people will literally be careful of what they put into their body in terms of food. Like you said, they'll count macros.
Yes.
But they're also going to the dirty gym bro behind the counter who makes his smoothie.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, can you get me that peptide that you promised me that's much cheaper from China? Like, can we just discuss the dangers of this also? Like, we should be only getting it from a pharmacy, correct?
You should be getting it from a pharmacy, from an American pharmacy.
No, the answer, Mark, is you should be getting it from VitalMix Pharmacy.
In general,
Now proudly serving our communities.
Yes.
Mark, please, come
As
on.
of now, we're licensed in New York and we're growing. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so New Yorkers, now you have a place to go to.
all of New
Okay,
York
but
State.
go ahead, please.
So in general, anytime you can buy a vial of anything, of the powder, and you're required to mix it with like bacterial static water, stay away from that. Stay away from that. That's essentially buying, what's the saying go? It's buying sushi from the gas station.
That's crazy work that people would inject something from like a random person.
Yeah, they buy it from like China or
That's
wherever.
crazy to me.
There's so many websites online where you could just type in peptides, and you will get a slew, and then they all have these like sales, and they have like buy this amount, and you'll get it's really insane.
That's
you
the
really
problem.
have
This
to
is
be
something so up and
careful.
coming. Exactly. Like people need to give the disclaimer, but give the warning of what it is. Like people can absolutely start dropping dead if they're injecting it the wrong way, if they're compounding it themselves at home,
Yes,
if it's
if
not a
they're mixing
sterile
it.
environment.
I had someone actually reach out to me recently. It was really interesting. She had bought, or was her friend, I don't really know the story behind it, but she was like, oh, my friend is taking this peptide. And I'm like, okay, where did she get it? She was like, oh, she got it somewhere. And I was like, was it mixed? No. So I was like, how did she mix it? So now I'm like trying to figure out what happened here. Where did they go wrong? This girl was giving herself, I think it was Selemax or Selenk. It was one of the ones for like mood and focus. And she was giving it to herself initially at like 4 or 5 times the dose. And she was like, she's so sluggish and she's so tired. And I'm like, why would she do that? I'm like, you have to, if you're going to do it, because I have been doing research, I am getting certified. So I'm doing the information, the background of it. And I'm like, she's giving herself too high of a dose, and that's why she's getting the side effects that she's getting. Right. It's just like people are just buying it everywhere. Yeah. And I had a patient sitting in front of me the other day, and it was like completely like pain management. I work in pain management. And he's like, oh, I don't want, like I was offering him like a trigger point injection. And he was like, no, I don't want that. I do peptides. And I'm like, where do you get them from? And he was like, oh, one of my friends, he's like like a dealer. I'm like, what? Like I couldn't like wrap my head around it. It was like a random guy
shooting up heroin. I mean, at this point,
it was so
very
mind-boggling to me. He was just like, yeah, and I'm like, are you a doctor? Like I started to ask him, like, I'm interested. Like, where did you find this stuff? Who are you?
It's actually very accessible, guys. Yeah. That's why I even brought this up.
It's so much more accessible.
I've had people offer it to me, like, oh, I got you. I'll hook you up. I'm like, no. What are you talking about? I need to. I don't even know what I would need. I got you. I know what you need. I'm like, really? You're a dental hygienist. Please tell me more. Please tell me more. Like this is what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
The lack, but that's what I'm saying. This false intelligence around it, and it's like hyped boast, like, oh, it's just amino acids, bro. Like, you ever talk to a gym bro about this? Like, what do you mean? Our own body makes them. And I'm like, hold on, slow down. What are you talking about? It's very dangerous, guys. You need to tell the audience how dangerous it is. So we covered a lot of things so far. Yeah. So we've established that you absolutely need to go ahead and get a full-blown assessment / a comprehensive blood panel. You can't, you have to know what you're deficient in, obviously, in order to know what to supplement. That makes a lot of sense. When you start, do you feel like this is something that you are going to do until you reach a certain goal and then you stop? Or is this a lifetime commitment? Like, that's a real honest question.
That's a great question, actually. So most peptides, you don't run them forever. You really don't. You have to.
And you follow up with blood work, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
So this is why under the table wouldn't work, guys. You would need to actually check and see if it's working. How else can you see what it's doing to your levels?
It depends on what you're doing the peptide for. If it's a GLP-1, you want to watch your A1C, you want to watch your cholesterol levels. You know, there are certain things you want to look for. If you're doing hormone replacement therapy, you want to constantly be checking the hormones and how they're looking, what their levels are. You cannot just take things forever. There's a point where it's also peptides. If you're continuously taking them, you'll plateau at some point. They won't be working because they're
just going to ask that. Yeah,
they're signaling molecules. They're not going to signal forever to the same, receptor. Right.
So so there's a few examples that I can give. Mm-hmm. For example, like a GLP-1. Mm-hmm. Somebody wants to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds. Like, don't worry about the duration. Like, you have a long way to go. Mm-hmm. But start it. You need to lose 100 pounds. Like, you need to
that's one of the situations where benefits absolutely outweigh the risks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, for example, I had this one woman tell me she's very overweight. She's like 250 pounds, like very overweight. And then I told her, and she has the money to pay for the product. So I said, let's connect you with the doctor. Maybe your doctor can write a script. We'll give you the product. Mm-hmm. No, it causes cancer.
Yeah.
I said, let's back up a little bit. It's very easy to just brush something off because you don't want to take accountability for your own health. There's no studies that link GLP-1s to cancer in humans. But there are plenty of studies that link obesity to cancer in humans.
100%.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Right?
As ludicrous as it sounds, like
Yes.
but that's the truth.
It's so
yes,
true.
Obesity is like the culprit of so many problems. Like
Yes.
when you lose the weight, you probably lose half of your problems.
Risk for
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, for sure.
So that's the barrier that a healthcare provider will have speaking with a potential patient. Like, hey, like you need to lose weight, and people are gonna watch this video and be like, oh, look at this guy. He's like fat shaming. I'm not fat shaming.
No, we should
he's
bring fat
helping
shaming
you.
back. I'm
He's-
sorry.
yeah.
I have feelings on this matter.
I don't listen.
Well, you guys are professional medical providers. Of course, you're not fat shaming. You want the best for your patient, but
Right.
absolutely, the benefit outweighs the risk. You can't just go on being.
Right. I'm not telling you need a 6-pack, you need an 8-pack. I'm not doing that.
Right.
All I'm saying is that when I see you walking
Take the
in
stress off
street,
the organs. That's what I
Yeah.
would say. Yeah.
And you're like
when you
short of breath and you can't like
yeah.
walk normally.
You see guys in our community walking to shul with their like 2 little kids, and he has like a
I
stomach
could hear
like
them across the
this.
street.
Not normal. That's not.
sleep
just like,
apnea. They
are
have
you
sleep
okay?
apnea. There's so many different things associated with obesity that it's crazy. People will say
Heart
no.
disease is the number one killer, guys.
And
Let's
in-
be honest.
And in
that's where it
today's
comes
day and age, there's no excuse, there's no reason for you to be that fat.
from. Yeah.
For a man, maybe GLP-1, but definitely let's test your testosterone.
Yeah.
Please,
For
let's
sure.
test your testosterone. The way that our medical system is right now, we have a range, right? But that range is not always optimal for every male,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like, usually they want you to be as close to 600,
Mm-hmm.
right, in the testosterone range. That, like 10, 15 years ago, it was higher than that. And we're producing less as every generation goes by,
Right.
right? So that's where we come in and we tailor your dose for you. But you should be on top of it. You should get those tests. You should.
Yeah.
Every man after 30 should get their testosterone levels checked.
Mm-hmm.
Every man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we touched on, okay, so weight loss is a big one, obviously, but not everyone is fat. What would you both say is like one of the more invisible ones? Like, what are people waiting too long to address? And when I see this kind of question or I think about it, I think of like the mental health crisis that we have going on right now, like the constant social media scrolling, the brain fog that this has caused for many people. I myself am very guilty of this. I get brain fog all the time because I feel like being on social media and constantly actively being on a screen and scrolling, and whether it's saving content, producing content, consuming content, the world changed a lot, guys, in the last like 10 years. Why am I just completely pivoting to this right now? What would you say can be done for yourself? Because like the vitamin industry, I'm not going to lie to you guys, like vitamin industry, I don't know what they're doing, but I think it's like the most greatest grand slam I've ever seen companies get away with, because I don't even know if that crap is working. I don't know if I even feel it working, but you keep on taking something daily, and a lot of these vitamins have filler.
Yeah.
Is there an easier alternative when it comes to addressing all these things, like brain fog and energy boosts, like real energy boosts, like when you want to actually feel good? I'm assuming because this is more along the terms of health and wellness and your own body's natural way of trying to make things right, that this is not a Band-Aid. This is more like you're going towards a healthier lifestyle. This is going to help optimize and get you there. What do you think people are taking too long to address when it comes to what I just discussed? Brain fog and inability to focus. I mean, this is a big problem in today's day and age, not just, in general. What would you say?
Sleep. People are not sleeping enough. People think that being exhausted is normal. And especially women, we add like a million different things on our shoulders, and we want to run businesses, and we want to be with the kids, and there's so many things that we're doing, and we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not sleeping enough. We're not eating right, protein. Like for me, that's what I think. Like I don't sleep enough for sure. I try, and you definitely don't sleep enough, young lady.
I literally
you definitely
don't. It's horrible. I know.
But I think that's where it starts. Honestly,
I
if
sleep
you're
on
not-
Sundays, if that counts.
No, it doesn't. You need
Can't
to sleep
catch up
every
on
day.
sleep.
Like there's no way
I
to
know.
catch up on sleep.
I know. And I literally feel like a different person if I do get enough sleep. I'm always so rejuvenated after vacation. Like if we'll go away and my husband will be up like at 5 a.m. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm sleeping
Yeah.
like until 2-3 p.m. because I need to just and I feel so much better when I catch up on it.
But like when
but
you're
I can't
sleeping, your
apply it.
body is recovering.
Yeah. Well, that's like the typical, okay, sleep, wellness,
yeah.
exercise. I mean, those are, but even though those are the fundamentals, those are really the important ones. I guess that, the basics are where it's
the
at.
most important ones. And going back to what you said previously, that at your age, you don't recover as well after
Yeah.
the workout.
Ugh,
A lot of it comes from sleep.
I know.
100%.
A lot of it comes from sleep.
For sure. When you're recovering, your body is adapting and it's getting everything that it needs. If you're not recovering appropriately, what are you doing it all for? Seriously, what is it for?
Yeah, I feel like if I was to go ahead and start doing Botox, but I'm not sleeping, I'm gonna look ridiculous because at the end of the day,
No.
you can't fake that. You have to actually be rested for your cells to, rejuvenate and whatever, all that. That's interesting. Now, what is something that your patients, like, what's a question that your patients ask you all the time? And this is like to you specifically because you have a very interesting angle here. Like, it's a compound pharmacy and you're very much into the future of medicine with the whole peptide stuff.
Yeah.
You guys are focusing mostly on peptides, correct?
Mostly GLP-1s, IV injectables, and peptides.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about peptides right now. I think RFK is really the one that brought this mainstream. Like that's when the first time I heard of it. I mean, you guys know I'm like into the political sphere of things. But when I heard him talking about it, I was like, I didn't even know that the Biden administration banned a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So can you expand on that so we can discuss, like, was that banned significant? Like, why did they ban them? Like, what happened?
So before Biden came into power, we were able to basically compound all of the peptides, basically. Then I guess pressure from big pharma. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me logically.
Yeah. That's kind of what makes me think that this is good. When I hear big pharma pressure, I'm like, okay, wait. So if they want in on this, then they know it's good,
right?
And it's obviously going to disrupt their game. Like
Right.
I always look at it like that. I know it's a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, but really that's how I look at it. But big pharma has a problem with it, there's a reason for that. It's because it's probably going to be more helpful.
Right.
Okay.
Like the saying goes, usually the most simplest answer is usually the right answer, right?
Yes.
So then they basically put it on the do not compound list. Not all of the peptides, like some of them we're still able to do, but a good portion of them were just like, no. It just so happens that RFK Jr., he's a big proponent of them. He takes a lot of
I know.
peptides.
He's like,
Yeah.
I used to do heroin in the 7-Eleven. And now he's so funny. Yeah, but he's very, he's about making America healthy again. For those that don't know, like he's really brought that agenda to the forefront. But I had a problem with it because it was so slow what he's doing with like the FDA. Like,
Well, you have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
You have to do it the
Of
right
course,
way.
there's a process, absolutely. But what I'm saying is back to just to go back to peptides.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is that he's actually been able to bring some of those back from this ban.
Right.
Okay, which ones did he bring back, and how
There's
are they?
14 of them. I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I can give you maybe 5 off the top of my head. But he's basically putting together a group within the FDA to like discuss and go over potentially like legalizing them, making it legal to compound it again.
Now, at the beginning of the podcast, you literally said that these processes and clinical trials take like hundreds of millions.
No, that's different.
That is different. So are these going to be going through any processes such as like that, like similarly?
I don't think they would.
So they just got unbanned and put back on the market?
I think it would be like a review of literature and studies as much as possible. I don't think it's going to require like clinical studies.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think there is a certain sense of urgency there. I do have that sense. So I don't think it's going to go through like clinical trials.
Yeah.
I don't think
he's a great example. When you look at him, he's very healthy, especially because of the colorful life that he led. Like he was genuinely doing like obscene things back in his day, but he's used it so much to recover physically.
he's on testosterone. So whenever you see a man that, I don't know if you've ever seen him like
Yeah,
work
he
out.
works out. Yeah,
he looks
like
brolic.
looks great.
Whenever you see a man his age look like that, they're 100% on testosterone. 100%.
Yeah.
Because the way that our bodies are, like you don't look like that unless you're on something.
And usually, like I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like usually it's steroids. No, like if people are trying to body build, they take steroids. Now,
So
okay,
steroids, testosterone technically is a steroid,
Yeah.
right? So when like even you put like hydrocortisone cream on yourself.
Yeah,
that's
a
a
steroid.
steroid.
Yeah.
Flonase. That's all steroids. So when we're talking about steroids, we're talking about anabolic steroids.
Yes.
So anabolic steroids is usually a mix of a few different testosterone salts together at a very high dose. Like that's what we call like illegal or just reserved for people who are like dying and trying to like bring up their muscle mass. In general, how did I get to this point? Oh,
She said steroids.
yeah. Basically, yeah, it's a steroid. How did I even enter this space? 5 years ago, I moved to Florida with my family. And I don't know if I'm sure you guys have been to Florida.
Yeah.
People really look different over there.
Yes.
Like they really value their physical, their
Yeah.
vanity.
Yeah.
So at the first 2 years, I'm like, I'm this guy, like I don't work out. I don't really eat well. I don't really do anything. I look like a slob compared to everybody else. And everybody looks phenomenal. And then I'm like, yo, what is this? Is it genetics? Am I eating the wrong thing? And then as the years go by, you see like, yeah, these guys work out, but they're all on something. And then I started like delving deep into it. Like I saw a guy with like a 6-pack. I'm like, how do you maintain that 6-pack? He's like, I'm on Ozempic.
Wow. Okay.
And then the girls, they look like models, like skinny, and they're microdosing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's microdose. So I realized that my first 2 years of Miami was just a big illusion. A big illusion. I'm sure there are people that do it naturally, like here and there.
But no, like that's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go to Florida, I'm like, everyone here is a little
Everybody looks good.
Yeah.
All the guys in the gym, they're all on testosterone.
bit. Yeah.
They're all on testosterone. Am I saying that our community needs to be on it? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be walking around with a belly like this.
Yeah. Of course.
You should not be walking around with a belly like this
No,
in
for
today's
sure.
day and age. For $50 to $100 a month, that's more than what you pay for shawarma if you go out today. Like you will be in shape.
Yeah.
You will be in shape. You have to work out. You have to watch what you eat a little bit. But you should not be morbidly obese
Yeah.
in today's day and age. I don't care what your age is. Right? You should not be. You should not. It doesn't look good. And it doesn't have to be that way. And we should stop lying to ourselves that we're okay with that. Tammy, do you have anything to add?
Oh, she is. I mean, I always
I'm
give
like
Tammy
the real,
her.
like health nut over here. So I agree 150% with that. Not only because it doesn't look good, but like internally, you are probably a mess. Internally, you probably have high cholesterol. You probably have a high A1C. You're probably like on blood pressure medication, on cholesterol medication, on
It's really about choosing your heart. Like the way, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I know that it's going to be so hard, for example, to go ahead and get a workout regimen in and make sure that you're doing it. But when you actually start doing it, you do feel amazing. Don't think I'm some kind of slob that's home that's just never touched the treadmill. No, it's actually one of those things that I used to do and I did it so well, but because I fell out of it and I used to be a dancer, oh my God, like I was just so much more fit than I am now. Like I just feel weak more physically, like muscle wise, but that's because of me. It's because I don't sleep enough and all that other stuff. But just being, friendly with you and your lifestyle habits, like you actually didn't feel good when you didn't eat well. Like you literally were like, oh, I feel like this. I'm so bloated. And she'd cry about it. I'm like, shut up. Like we went to eat shashlik. Like just get over it. Like you act like we never ate it before. And she's just like, no, like I should have gotten a salad. But this is because those are her lifestyle choices. And for the people that are listening, it is very important to start. Like, I mean, I feel like this is a very advanced role, like you guys said. What I'm understanding is you are not going to replace diet and exercise for anything. You can optimize your life using peptides because they're actually helping you in your own way. But I'm very happy that we have options like this. We have compounding pharmacies out there because I have very specific catered needs. Like me specifically, I have very specific needs. I have low energy, for example. Like you think I have a lot of energy, but I'm like I run out, believe it or not.
You're overexerting yourself.
I do. I overexert myself. It's just my natural, whatever. But I'm very specific to what I would need, and I'm happy that. And I'll pay. Listen, if I feel like it's working, like I feel like somebody underestimates that. When I do something and I feel like it works or it makes me feel good, money is literally no object. I don't care anymore. I try to invest into myself in that aspect so much. And that's where I'm headed towards. That, you know what, for the most part, I need to start looking into more things for my health because the A, B, and C actually feels great for you. So I'm very, very happy and excited that we have VitalMix Pharmacy around. And for a process like that, I feel like this is not so different than the standard process. I would go to my esthetician sorry, I keep saying esthetician, but I would go to an NP, for example. And I say NP because it's more of a fuller assessment. That's my personal biased opinion as a nurse. I feel like we just do a very nice, rigorous head to toe, and we actually talk to you and get get the whole gist of things. But this sounds like a very doable process. You go, you share your concerns, you get a comprehensive blood panel, which in and of itself is phenomenal because you know how many times I went to the doctor and I felt like crap and I did blood work and it's like, well, your CBC is fine and your metabolic profile is great. And you have a little protein in your UA. Just take it easy a little bit on the keto diet, and you should be fine. And I'm just like,
what keto diet?
What do you? Yeah, I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
keto diet?
I'm not even on. Okay, yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like I feel like there's not an answer. It's always this runaround with the healthcare world today. There's always this negative runaround of like you're back to square one, and you end up doing what we said not to do. You end up venting about it at the gym, and this little compadre comes out and says, hey, I got the guy, don't worry about it, he smuggles things for me all the time across the border, I can get you whatever you need at half off of what you're telling me you can find it for. So this is what I would like to avoid for not only our community but for people across the board. I think that is an insanely innovative world. I will be touching on it, and you said you're getting certified for it, correct?
Yes, I am.
There's like a lot of education around this.
There's so much information about not just the GLP-1s, there's so many peptides.
No, we just touched on that one because it's just very popular. But
not only is it popular, it's approved by the FDA. The other ones are, they're under review right now. But yeah, no, there's so much information.
A lot of myths also.
There's a lot of myths.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of myths. That's why education is very important. Where would I go if I want to go get educated about peptides? In addition to something like this?
Not Instagram. Not Instagram.
I mean, if you're going to go to somebody, preferably somebody who's certified and has the knowledge to direct you correctly in the right direction. It's Is it just peptide certified? Is that the certification? Yeah. I would implore people to go ahead and make sure that they're talking to somebody that knows what they're saying. I spoke to you because you're actually getting certified in it. You're learning about it. Yeah. And you're a compound pharmacy owner, so it's like, or a founder, I should say. And I just want to close out with, what would you say is like your favorite thing about being a healthcare provider? Because it looks like you both lead somewhat of a healthy lifestyle, so you want to live and act what you do. What's your favorite thing about healthcare provider, Tammy? I mean, since I got into aesthetics, I just love seeing people come in feeling not themselves and they leave feeling great. GLP-1s are great. I love them. I have a lot of people that are on them. So, that contributes a lot to how they feel, how they look. And when they leave, they feel good and they're happy. So it makes me feel good that I'm able to produce that kind of outcome. Mark?
Whenever I see patients using our products and they start looking good, and I look at them and I see pictures that they post, and I'm like,
Mark is like, I did that.
I did that.
That was me.
I did that in the lab.
Listen, I'm glad we still have people, not just in the community, like I said, but I am glad that we have people that are still genuinely focused on curating genuinely good, healthy results for their patients. I think this is like a lost, dying art. I know it sounds silly, but I've very much lost a lot of my faith in the medical community simply because of a lot of the things that we discussed. Right. Big pharma seems to be like a never-ending thing. It's almost like it's out to get you. A lot of the stuff we eat is poison. A lot of the stuff that we ingest is poison in terms of products. Yeah. So I implore people that are listening, do not get things from under the table. Go to an actual, a real pharmacist. Mm-hmm. Go to a real provider and start your journey to a better life and to health and wellness. I wanted to thank you for all of your time. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal project. I wish you guys the best of luck and a lot of good endeavors for you. And Tammy, just keep growing and keep on educating people about these things. This is very, very important, and you guys are doing really good things for the community.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. We will be in touch again for the next follow-up episode when I'm going to come back with an 8-pack, guys. That's basically what these two promised.
That's what we're going to do.
All right, an 8-pack and a cascade of hair.